What's up, Transformers fans? Welcome to week 12 of Moonbase 84's year-long celebration, celebrating 40 years of Grimlock and the Dinobots. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to give a shout out to Aatron, my minicon, for his really fantastic Mandalorian review. That's the first review he's ever done, and I thought it came out great. Some of the stuff he did, like the stop motion and things, puts me to shame. So hopefully you guys don't call from my head and allow me to continue to do this. He is also responsible for our TikTok channel and the shorts, most of the shorts you see on this channel. So he's doing a great job, and there will be more reviews from him in the future, immediate future. And I did mention earlier in the year, he was at the beginning of the year, that he was going to be joining the channel more. We're trying to come up with to do a podcast. That's just a time thing for both of us. He's in college. I work crazy hours. I work at 2 o'clock in the morning. So having him do content for the channel is also very helpful to me as well. And I hope you continue to enjoy the content he's bringing. Okay. Now, also, the other thing is, if you see this video for the first time viewing anything on the channel, please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Now on to the subject for this week. You've been looking at him during this whole intro to this video, and it is the Transformers animated Voyager class Grimlock. And as for Grimlock's appearance in the Transformers animated show along with the other Dinobots, I think I mentioned that when we looked at Swoop. I love their depiction in animated, and the thing about the Dinobots in general, as well as Transformers, that I think is really cool about Transformers is that you can take the same characters, mix them up a little bit, tweak their designs and things like that, and still have a really good show toy product. Dinobots, perfect example. Most of their animated TV show depictions are dim-witted, but then you go to the comics and they have intelligence. And that's the great thing about Transformers, is that you can do that and still make it work. As for me, I like both takes on the Dinobots. I like the dim-witted Dinobots. They bring the comedy, and I like the serious stuff, like I said, that you see in the comics and in the Fall of Cybertron video game. And they bring the more badassery, if you will. And as for the toy of the animated Grimlock, I love this toy. He is one of my favorite Grimlocks in my collection. I've also said many times that I love the animated design, and I just think, once again, which I say a lot, is that Hasbro back then did a fantastic job of translating those very stylistic designs for Transformers animated into toy form. They just made it work, and Grimlock is no different. And we will take a closer look. You got that big, low-jawed T-Rex head that we saw in animated. And of course, this is like more of a stylized, traditional Grimlock, like G1-ish. You got your grays, your reds, which are more like maroons and golds. But I really like the aesthetic. And we'll just take an overview of him here. And there's not as much sculpt work because it was a sleek design, it was stylized, animated design, not a lot of intricate detail. You get his little snout. And you got some blue plastic up here for the light piping into the eyes, which is really cool. Here's the back. And he is pretty clean until you get under here, but still, I really like him. Articulation, it's weird. His hands, his little T-Rex arms are not on a ball. So you can fold them. Oh, you can't. I thought you could. Well, you could. Yeah, you can. But I mean, that's breaking transformation. Nothing in the tail. His legs do swivel and bend like that. You can twist his foot, I guess, but that again is more for robot mode. Hopefully I got that on camera. And he has a play feature, which is press the button and it opens and closes his jaw. We Grimlock like. So as usual, I am going to transform him off camera, and we'll take a closer look at his robot mode. Sorry, I can't do the stop motion stuff that Aatron does. So the way Mondo does it, off camera transformation. So I'll be right back. So here's Grimlock transformed up into his robot mode, and I know I keep saying it, but once again, robot mode is the same way with how the toy translates the animated design very well. And the thing is, with a lot of Dinobots, I always have trouble of how I want to display them. Do I want them as dinosaurs or robots? Because they usually typically look awesome in both modes. But we will take a closer look. He retains the blue light piping for his eyes. He's got the lower jutted out jaw like his T-Rex mode. I just love the style they went with, bringing a more stylized, visually speaking, more stylized approach to the G1 design. And you got that maroon, more gold, with some nice detail on the chest with that crisp Autobot symbol. And then, of course, just like the cartoon, the waist and the lower torso area gets pretty thin. And then you come down to the bulky Grimlock legs, and I just love the color scheme, the golds. I mean, classic Grimlock colors, the golds, the maroon in this case, and not red. Yeah, really cool. His feet become the hands. He also transforms just about like very traditional Grimlock transformation. Take a look at his back. As you can see, same thing. You got the T-Rex heads hanging out on the back, but pretty tidy. It comes out maybe a tad bit far, but not bad in my opinion. Articulation wise, he is a little limited compared to modern Transformers. His head does swivel very loosely on mine. His arm unfortunately can only go out that far. You get like a butterfly though, which is pretty cool. You get an elbow bend, about 90. Wrist rotation. His now robot hands, which are the dino feet again, can move. He's got a waist, very loose on mine. He is long armed, but that again is the design of the show. I can't get there you go. It only goes that far forward. My copy, there's a lot of tight joints and a lot of loose joints. Get this arm out of the way. He does do just about a full split. No rotation or anything at the thigh or at the knee, but his knee does go past 90. No ankle pivot or anything. But yeah, so limited, but I don't care. I think he is cool. I mean, I grew up with the original toys and their articulation was very limited, and I loved them then and I still love them now for what they are. Grimlock comes with one accessory, which is a big, thick flame sword. You got the translucent orange, because if you've seen the show, the Dinobots weapons ignite on fire. They're all about the fire, and it's cool how you got the translucent orange with the black and the gold. Really cool. Also very kind of hefty for an accessory, so that's pretty cool. And he holds it in this hand. Spread that out. Got a peg right there, and you peg it in like so, clamp it around. And he does have a gimmick. Sorry about that, I couldn't get the gimmick to work for a minute. You have to keep turning until it clicks. But when you turn his wrist, and we have to turn it all up, there you go. Depends on where his wrist is with that setup. The fire springs out, so that is pretty cool. And there you have Grimlock with his flame sword. Again, just like in the show, Grimlock like. So yeah, pretty awesome. So that'll wrap up week 12 of our year-long celebration, celebrating 40 years of Grimlock and the Dinobots. Again, I love this Grimlock figure. He's just a great toy. He's got a little play value with the sword. I just love this version of Grimlock. I think he's cool. Also wanted to mention one more thing. Just if you haven't, check out that Transformers Mandalorian collaboration video that Tron My Minicon did. I think you'd enjoy it. But I will say in the video, he did a great job. One last thing, again, he did a great job. But I am going to have to take away his nerd card, sadly, because it took him way too long to remember that the design on the Mando's shield for the Transformers figure is the Mudhorn from the Mandalorian show. So his nerd card's gone. With that being said, I'm going to wrap up the video. And until next time, thanks for docking.